we look at different depictions of Neanderthals over the past few decades, they often look similar to modern humans living in the region of where the depiction came from. For instance, European depictions show Neanderthals as being light-skinned, while depictions from Asia or the Middle East show a darker skin tone. So I wondered, what skin tone or hair color did Neanderthals have? And was this simply the same for all of them, or did they have variations in their appearance like us modern humans? So my name is Kaylee, and normally I don't wear a ponytail, but holy hell, I had a bad hair day and this was the best I can come up with. And in this video I'm going to tell you all about the research that has been conducted surrounding the skin color and hair color of Neanderthals, or Neanderthals. Somehow my brain will always say Neanderthal because it sounds better. Nice. Neanderthal sounds so rough, harsh. Whatever. So let's find out the skin and hair color of Neanderthals. Of all the different human species that have lived before us, I think it's safe to say that we know most about the Neanderthals. So we know that Neanderthal DNA influenced us modern humans in quite a few ways. But did their DNA influence our skin tones or our hair color? And why are Neanderthals often depicted with white or pale skin? How accurate are these depictions? These are all questions that need answering, and hey, hi, here I am. Let's go. So when we Homo sapiens emerged in Africa, Jebel Irhoud, Morocco, around 300,000 years ago, our skin tone was dark and had strong tanning abilities. Over time, as we started living more north of the equator, our skin tone slowly lightened and adapted to an environment with less UV rays. But did the same happen with Neanderthals? So it seems that the short answer for this is yes. It seems that the variations in skin pigmentations in Neanderthals were equally as valuable as it was for modern humans living in the same areas later in time. For a long time, depictions of Neanderthals depended on the region of where the depiction was created. In Europe, Neanderthals were depicted with light skin, and like I said in the beginning of this video, in the Middle East or Western Asia, they were depicted with medium or darker toned skin. But none of these depictions were actually influenced by genetic knowledge. Although it seems that these depictions weren't wrong, however, now that genetic work has been done to try and figure out the skin tone of Neanderthals. So, yeah, not wrong, but not based on anything. The genetic work into the appearance of Neanderthals started around the year 2000. 23 years ago, when genetic variants in modern-day humans with red hair pigmentations were analyzed. The team of researchers, led by Rosalind Harding, estimated that at least one of the genetic variants associated with red hair pigmentation found in today's people emerged around 80,000 years ago. This was a time when us Homo sapiens, us modern humans, hadn't even reached Europe yet. Therefore, they suggested that this variant had come from Neanderthals. Later on in 2007, another team led an investigation into the same subject. This team looked at two Neanderthal individuals found in Spain and Italy, and they found an unknown gene variant that's not seen in modern humans, but this variant is similar to genetic variants responsible for red hair pigmentation in us modern humans. So it's not the same, but it's eerily similar. So this suggested that Neanderthals carrying this particular gene variant were more likely to have reddish hair and a lighter skin pigmentation. So it seems that some Neanderthals could have had red hair and light skin. Although, of course, it's unsure if Neanderthals are the reason that red hair can be found in us modern humans, as the gene variant found in the 2007 study is not a gene that's been carried down to us modern humans. We also know that natural selection has quite the effect on pigmentation traits in many populations. Research into the fossils found at the Denisova cave in Siberia revealed that the populations there, mostly known as the Altai Neanderthal, had a variant that has clear associations with pigmentation. So one of the results in this study revealed an association with increased freckles. Freckles in modern times, as most of you know, most of you watching this will know, are associated with reddish hair color and a pale skin. So for freckles to have been associated with at least some Neanderthal individuals suggests indeed that Neanderthals could have had red hair and light skin. Although, as you can imagine, it's unclear how much these variants lightened the skin of these Neanderthal individuals, and it's unclear how much these variants affected the color of the hair. You watching me for a while will know that I have blonde hair. It's very eminent. I have green eyes, although my hair is a dark, almost strawberry blonde, if we're going to be exact. It used to be like nearly white blonde when I was young, and then you go into like puberty and your hair changes color. It's normal. However, both my sisters are a dark blonde and have blue eyes, but both my sisters have slight freckles, while I do not. I do not have freckles in any way, shape, or form. My dad was a blonde with grayish-blue eyes, and he tans really easily, while my mom has light blue eyes, reddish hair, and lots of freckles, and a pale skin. So just in my immediate family, we can see how genes and their variants can appear differently. So funny thing, because that wasn't the funny thing, that was just some basic information, my mom is actually a twin. Her twin brother has dark, almost black hair, dark brown eyes, and he looks Italian. Yeah, it's really funny to ask people if they believe them to be family. People think they cannot be related, maybe very extremely distant cousins, let alone be twins. So yeah, just looking at a gene variant cannot tell us what someone looked like. We cannot know how much having a gene variant within your genome will affect the pigmentation of your skin, your hair, or your eyes. But it is good to look at it, knowing that it has the ability to affect the appearance of every individual. So someone who doesn't have a variant associated with red hair or freckles will simply not have red hair or freckles, while someone who does carry a variant may have red hair or freckles. It's all about the may, it's the possibility. So some of the variation in genes carried by Neanderthals back in the day were inherited by us modern humans. These variants have the ability to affect the skin and the hair tone of the carriers living in modern times, and it can also affect how easily someone tans. Yeah, Neanderthals are kind of responsible for how fast a person can tan. Who would have thought? So the research into the skin tone of Neanderthals seems to suggest that Neanderthals differed in their hair and skin tones just as much as people do now. Maybe even more. What the hell? So they might have actually evolved in a similar fashion as us modern humans, although they did it long before us. The individuals living in more northern regions seem to have had a paler skin complexion, while the individuals living in Eurasia and those living closer to the equator had a darker skin complexion, just like we see with modern humans. When looking at it from a very super oversimplified perspective, it all comes down to UV rays. When living close to the equator, your skin needs to be protected from the sun and the harsher UV rays. Therefore, the skin will be darker. And living further away from the equator results in a lighter skin tone, one that's more suitable for vitamin D synthesis in a region where the amount of UV has seasonal variations. So it seems that the lighter skin tones in Neanderthals living further away from the equator were necessary for their survival. So when someone asks, what did Neanderthals look like? The very simple answer is, we don't know, because they seem to have had a lot more variations than we do today. They might have differed much more when comparing individuals from different populations in different regions than modern humans do. So when we look at someone from, like, let's say the African continent, they have a dark skin tone, and we put them next to someone from, let's say, Japan. These two individuals look completely different, and this seems to have been the case with the Neanderthals in different regions as well. So when looking at the depictions of Neanderthals, it seems that they have been underrepresented in their appearance, as most Neanderthal depictions look very similar. So more work into the complexity of skin pigmentation in Neanderthals is needed to broaden our understanding into their appearance. But I'm sure as time goes on, we will learn more, and the depictions of Neanderthals may drastically change as new discoveries are announced. Back in the 90s, the idea of a red-haired Neanderthal was quite ludicrous, but nowadays it seems really normal. Science has the ability to change our perspective. And I'm here for it. I love it. So, what do you think? Are you excited about future studies into Neanderthal skin and hair pigmentation? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos, and click that bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I upload. If you haven't seen my previous videos yet, then click the card in the upper right corner, or click one of the links in the description down below, or click a video in the end card. I would also like to say a massive thank you to all my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me. And my channel members, thank you so much for your support. Like, it means the absolute world to me. Thank you. And yeah, I'll be away for Easter weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.